Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Is Alan the comic collector geek, or is it? I'm just joking. So yeah, um, this is the show where we look at the hottest Silver Age comics of the year. I just had a dream about not being real, so that's why I'm saying, or is it Alan? Don't mind me. I just babble a lot. But I'm joined with Suddenly Comics Mark. A little bit crazy,
Hello.
but
I
I had
am
a cool
real,
dream.
by
It
the
was a cool
way.
dream.
Alan is AI generated. I'm real.
Mhm. Yes, yes. At least that's what the AI told me. So yeah, we're gonna look at some pretty cool books this week. There's actually one that Mark loves on this list. It's not actually on going to be on my list. It's going to be on Mark's list. So go over to Mark's channel at the end of this and watch it because I'm really looking forward to seeing Mark's reaction about his favorite book being on the list again. And I think he's really missed it. I think he's had withdrawal symptoms. So that's going to be on the list in part two. So definitely go over to Mark's channel and watch that. But there's actually some pretty cool things on this list. And I'm going to get Mark to do a lot of work. He loves doing lots of work. So it'll be fun.
I think you look for comics specifically, which can cause me to have to jump around everywhere. Right.
Exactly. Now
Let
you're
me
getting the theme of the list.
let me show my screen. And let's move to the first comic. There we go. That's a cracker.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh, Carry on.
this is one that I just always felt like, gee, this should have been Strange Tales 110. This is a much better cover. It's really cool. It always gives me vibes of Hulk 1 in terms of the composition, because it's him standing
Yeah,
and
there's
then
an
it's
alternate him standing over the real him. Yes.
yeah. And if you look at Hulk 1 and compare it, you can actually see like lots of similarities between the two.
Yes. So this is a Dan Adkins cover. Do you think this is Dan Adkins' most famous and best known cover?
Probably I because I don't know the name. Dan Atkins. Like, I don't know him for anything else.
No, I don't. I don't either, which is why I say it. If anybody anybody thinks they know a better cover than this from Dan Adkins, let me know because I'll be surprised.
Hmm. But it's a cool cover.
Yeah. And it is the first Doctor Strange in his own title, so
Yeah,
it's not his first appearance, but it's a significant key.
yeah. It's his first titled comic. Um, Self-titled, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so a very cool book. It's very interesting because they actually had two 169s, right? They kind of verged off where one was Doctor Strange and then one was I think it goes off into being not Ant-Man, but is it Ant-Man? I think it's
It
Ant-Man.
news to me. I thought there was only. What do you think they split into two?
Yeah, it's split
Well, it
into
used
two.
to be Doctor
It's
Strange
still
and was it Doctor Strange and the Hulk for a long time?
yeah, was it? Well, maybe it wasn't. Okay,
I
it's
don't think
Tales
Doctor
Strange
Strange.
Tales, but I'm positive Strange Tales divided into two. That
Oh,
there's two because there's a Doctor Voodoo, a Brother Voodoo one, isn't there?
Doctor Voodoo
A
169.
brother Voodoo.
Oh, I think you're right. I think there is. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you right? I think you might be. I don't think it's called Doctor Voodoo 169.
It's it's not Doctor Voodoo. I think it's just Strange Tales
Strange
169.
Tales continues.
Yeah, for a few more for a few more, and it has. I
Might be
think
right.
169 has
I
Brother
think you
Voodoo
might
on
be
it.
right. I'm not.
I was trying to remember what was on
That
it. I was
has
just like,
bothered me. Yeah,
yeah, Brother
yes,
Voodoo.
you're right.
See?
Strange Tales 169, Brother Voodoo. You are correct.
Yeah,
Now,
so it's one of
yeah,
those weird things.
yeah, right. Well done, Alan. You've actually explained something that's mystified me, and I've got, I hadn't, it hasn't, it's sort of not, I've looked at comics like sort of I've Strange Tales 173, and I'm going, why is there a Strange Tales 173? Didn't it become Doctor Strange at 160?
Yeah,
I hadn't
yeah,
realised it had actually continued, or I hadn't.
yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah,
continued the numbering and the comic as well, which
yeah,
is weird.
yeah. That is really odd. Has that ever happened before? I don't think that happened anywhere else.
Yeah,
Usually,
I can't think of any.
the original title stops once the title spins off it.
Yeah, yeah. So I always thought that was a little weird.
There you go. You learn something new every day.
So yeah, so that's I don't know. That was cool. Okay, so how did this one do? Seems
Right.
awfully
Well,
cheap
it
if you
sold
ask
for
me, but
252, which sounds cheap to me.
sounds cheap to me too.
So let's have a look at the graph. Here we go. It's a bit up on the previous sale. Oh, wait a minute. What are
Oh,
we looking at? No, that's not it. What did it sell for? 252.
252. Yeah, 252.
Oh no, so that's a down. That's way down. That's that one lies the 310. I haven't put it on the graph yet. So it's actually a low.
Okay.
Now there's a 228 there. Can you see that peak down? Look,
228.
there's a
Okay.
228, then it went 30369, which is this there, and then it's back to 250. So it's hovering along the bottom. It hasn't quite set its new level
Figured
yet.
out what its low is. Actually, what's the peak on it? What was
Oh,
the
it's
peak in COVID?
ridiculous. Look at how high this goes. This went up to 892.
Wow. And what was the pre-COVID? That's always the last
Yeah,
question I always like to ask.
pre-COVID, I'm going to call it at two, well, 260.
And that was actually down because there was like a peak earlier than that, than pre-COVID even, right?
Yeah, I don't know what caused that.
Where that was probably the movie,
Oh, that
like
was
the
the
doc.
Doctor Strange movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
532. I think this
Wow.
comic is got. I think this is a good time to buy this comic. So I think this comic is a key, and I think it'll come back.
Believe it or not, I think this would probably you could probably get it on the cheap end for around 230, 220 maybe. And
Okay.
then probably on an average rate of 250. I think this 252 is kind of where it still hasn't figured out its floor yet, it seems like it. And it's
Yeah.
like gonna probably average out at 250,
Yeah, but
which
this
is
comic's not really done well, has it? I mean, if
no,
the price here in 2015 was 380, so 10 years ago, this was $100 more.
I think when the first movie came out, which was probably about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's going to be about right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement and it was a good movie.
It
The
was a good
second
movie.
one wasn't as good. Um, it was kind of weak.
I quite
Uh,
enjoyed it.
I mean, I'm not saying it was the worst movie ever. I'm just saying it wasn't as good as the first one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I felt like Wanda, for example, her motivations didn't really make any sense. Like what she could have done is just look like worked with Doctor Strange and said, "Hey, look, let's find a universe where I have kids, but that universe doesn't have me, and then I'll just adopt those kids that were actually mine."
But that's that as we've discussed that you've thought of that because you're AI generated.
See, I don't know. I just, it's like she didn't have to kill so many people and cause all this
I
grief.
know, but it's a story. Yeah, okay. I agree. It wasn't.
Wasn't thought out. So, what's the census on this book? I think it's a pretty high
It's
census,
big.
like
It's big.
6,000 or something.
Yeah, I'm going to go 5 or 6. Oh no, it's not as high as that. I thought it was higher than this. It's 3.7.
Oh wow, I would have guessed like some crazy census.
Yeah.
But it is kind of later in the run, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
a
I mean, he's been around a bit by the time we get to issue 169. When did we first appearance 110? So, yeah.
yeah. People are better at collecting the number ones. But yeah. And this is not really a number one, even though it's a number one. So yeah. Interesting. Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah, and then
So
of course this doesn't last that long, does it? Before it stops and it becomes they reboot it as Doctor Strange #1.
yeah.
How
By the
many
way,
issues? It's about 10 or so issues, isn't it, before they stop this and
it
reboot it?
rebooted as Doctor Strange 1. And the Doctor Strange 1 actually I really like the cover
And
of.
that's a great cover as well. So it's two
I think
great.
it's the best of the Doctor Strange covers.
Yeah.
Um so there's going to be a movie soon. Like I mean within the next 1 to 2 years.
Is there?
Yeah. Well, I mean they ended it with like a to be continued.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on the, on the sort of scheduling for Disney.
Hmm. So I think this move, this is a good time to buy. It's at a kind of a low, so
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
good to spec on. Okay, so what's next?
Next up, we have got this is under great cover. I haven't got this, so I might have to add this to my want list.
I put this on the list because I was watching some video where somebody was going through a collection and they were going, "Oh, this is the key, this is the key," and they were just going through and they passed by this book and they didn't even think about it. Okay,
Well, it's the great kite cover. I don't use a key for any particular reason.
it is a key, but most people don't recognize it as a key,
Well,
and even CGC doesn't recognize it as a key.
okay.
And I'm going to put this out there, like just like I did with the 169 thing. I'm going to put this out there that this is the very first Silver Age Joker cover. I don't think there was an earlier Joker cover than this.
Why have they not recognized that then? Because they recognize everything, every first Silver Age Scarecrow, first Silver Age
Right, this is his
Penguin.
cover. He appeared earlier, and I'm gonna just put that out there. I think this is the first Silver Age Joker cover. I was trying to find what was the first Silver Age Joker cover, and this like I was going through all the series, and that's the one I found that was the earliest. He does appear before that, but it's not like so it's not
No,
his
no, I
first
understand.
appearance.
Yeah.
So you almost have to go through all the covers and kind of investigate. But so I'm kind of putting that out there. Somebody can
Sarah's
verify if
saying
I'm wrong.
100, What's 155? What's in 155, Alan?
I don't know. Could I be wrong all this time? Well,
155. Isn't that the
one
page?
more, one more. So this is the fun things I get you to do, like investigate.
155 was first Silver Age Penguin. That's
Yeah,
not.
that's not. Yeah. Oh, that's the one with the dragon. Yeah.
And this is earlier anyway, 136. I can't think of an earlier one, Alan. I think you might be right.
Yeah. What does it say? It says, oh yeah, it does actually say key issue. Look.
Oh, yeah, it says first Silver Age Joker cover.
I figured that out myself,
You're
but
obviously better at reading than me, Alan, and you should have pointed that out to me earlier.
well, I just saw that
So Go
now.
Collect agrees with you, Alan. It's the first Silver Age Joker. I did not know that. That's two things. We've been two comics in,
Two
and I've
things
learned
that we
two
learned.
things.
But
So
actually, it wasn't really one of those things. It's never on the slabs. But
no,
I
it's not
looked
the
it up. I
same.
was going through because I was curious because I was picking up all these Silver Age books, and I was like, what's the very first Joker cover? Like we know the Scarecrow one, we know the other like
Yeah,
Penguin and all that, but Joker being the biggest of the characters,
yeah. Why is this not more well known?
exactly.
Why didn't CGC put it on
I
their?
think this is a totally under the radar, underappreciated key. And it's a cool cover. It's
It is a cool cover. Right. Okay. This is definitely on my want list now. Before people realise it's a key.
and look at how many are on the census. 400.
Oh, there's only four. Oh, yeah, but these Batmans are quite low.
I bought a copy. Mine's raw, but
Yeah,
yeah. So how did this do? Now that we
it's
know
doing
all this
okay,
more about
Alan.
the
It
cover.
is doing okay. It's up here.
Yeah, it's kind
Somebody
of
else.
up and down. It doesn't have a steady.
Well, it's three. It's up on its down. Uh,
Hmm. And
it's
it's kind of like sort
not
of,
quite at its peak, which is 401 in January 2022. But it's there or thereabouts. Yeah, interesting comic. Should be
so
worth
this is,
more. It was 6.5, $240 for the first Silver Age cover appearance
and
of Joker
with a low census count.
with a very low census count.
Yeah. I think it's just people just don't know what it is.
Is there any for sale?
Now you're gonna be
There
like,
is. There's a
I spend
seven,
your money.
there's a It's a 4.5 for 400. That's pricey.
Yeah, so we know that you can get it for anywhere from 200 to like $400 range
This was a
for
6.5, wasn't it?
yeah.
There are no 6.5s to sell. There's a 6.0. There's a 7.5 for 500.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
Yeah.
not bad, is it? If you
So what I like here's another trick that I recommend is just heart that. Don't buy it, heart it. And usually like within a day or two, if they, they sometimes will
yeah,
send you
somebody
a
will, yeah,
best offer. Yeah.
add to watch list. I'm gonna add that to my watch list.
Yeah.
There we go.
And maybe you'll get it for like 400 or something.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice. Okay, good suggestion. Right, there we go. Alan's helping me to buy comics, identifying keys for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I always thought that was cool.
Very good. Well done, Alan. That's two. There you go. This
See,
is
this is why I make these lists. I want to educate people about cool things.
okay. Well, you've educated me. Right.
Hmm.
Okay. Next up, what can we learn about this one? Tales of
Uh,
Suspense number.
well, what do you think it is? This is a key as
Well,
well.
is it a sort of pre? Oh, I know what it is. It's the Doom
Prototype.
pre-Doom thing.
Yes. So it doesn't actually look at the label. Does not say that, but it is.
Yeah, no, I did know
Okay.
this one.
He even has the iron mask. This is a cool
Yeah, no, it
book.
looks very Doom-like, doesn't he? Some of these ones where they say, "Oh, this is like the first Spider-Man," it does not look like Spider-Man at all. Whereas this
This
does look
really,
like Doom
yeah, really looks like Doom.
prototype.
And he's on the cover. It's a good, it's just a really great key spec. When Doctor Doom is really popular, it's a Jack Kirby cover. You can tell with the little people and the fedoras.
Yeah, well,
Um,
the hats. This guy's hat's coming off.
yeah, well, this is Kirby saying, I don't want to be Kirby anymore. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's a cool one. I just recently picked it up too, so I was curious how well this
And
book
what grade did
performed.
you collect, or did you get raw?
I got a raw copy. I think it's like a 4 or something like that, maybe.
Very nice. Well, this sold for 408, which sounds cheap again to me for such a great comic.
Yeah, a prototype. These prototypes have been sort of under the radar a little bit. Like people don't really
Oh,
like know
again, it
about
doesn't
them.
say it on the CGC slab, so
Exactly.
oh, this was a book steal for somebody.
Yeah, this book actually does go for some money normally. Um,
Well, I
so
mean,
it was at
it's stuck at
500
around
and
four
went down to
hundred
4.
dollars forever.
Yeah, it's a very flat. Yeah, you can see it's a very flat census. It actually looks like it's back down to where it was,
Yeah, it's back where
whatever.
it was in 2020.
Yeah, so it's gone back to its pre-COVID price just in this one sale. I think this was a fluke sale personally, and that it's going to go back up to that five
500.
hundred dollar mark.
Yeah, yeah,
But it just shows though that if people don't recognize the key, and that's kind of almost like a bit of a theme on this list. If people don't recognize the key, they might miss on the opportunity to pick it up.
yeah. This is true.
Um,
Right. Okay. Well, that's another good one. How
yeah, and what's the census on it?
census is
Really
only
low.
235.
And that's a Marvel book. Like, like I mean, when I say like, normally it should be like 2000, you know.
Hang on, when
Um,
does Doom first appear? Doom must first appear very soon after this. This is June.
he appeared in 63, I believe, or
Well, no,
62,
well,
maybe 62.
This is June 30th, 1962. So it can't be
So
much.
I think just after this, Doom appears. So if you look up Fantastic Four number, well, we're going to see it soon. It's
We
on
are
the
going to
list.
see it. We got towards the end.
Yeah,
I'd be interested just to check on that.
yeah, it is on the
And
list.
it's fairly close. So this is genuinely is a prototype.
So
This is
yeah.
genuinely what he's done this and then thought
Hey, this is a good character.
this is
Let's
a
go
good
further with it.
design for a baddie.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's within a year at least. you know,
And the thing is, it looks very similar.
it
You know what I
does.
mean? Like
Very
it's
similar.
almost like he saw this is such a great
Oh, hang
design.
on a minute. Hang on a minute. April
Is this
10th,
before?
that was after the first Doom.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
The Fantastic Four 5 with the first Doom comes out on April 10th, and the other one was June 30th. So this the Doom is first. It's not a prototype Doom.
That's weird. Okay, so here's another thing. Okay, I'm going to get you to do some work. This is what you have to do as a collector. Go to a different site. Go to comics.org.
Yeah, yeah, I know the Grand Comics database.
Yeah, Grand Comics
Why? What are you
database.
going to show me now?
Well, we're going to see if that's actually the right date.
Well, you're suggesting Go Collector's got it wrong.
Yeah,
Okay. Which one do you think it's got wrong?
well, both. Let's see. So this is the fun thing we do as collectors. I actually
What
I
is
was
going on today? I'm having to go all over the place.
we're doing so much
Alan's
extra
on
work.
fire because he's had a dream. He's AI, and now he's um why why is it not finding it? Fantastic Four 5. Oh, because
And
I've
then you
written
just do
fanatic. I've
search.
written
Click
fanatic.
the wrong search. You got to be careful. That's one thing I always found annoying. They have a search and advanced search, and they're right next to each other. So if you click the wrong one, you get the
Here we go. July 1962.
okay, July 1962.
What did Go Collect say?
It's at April.
It did. And the other one was June 19th. So it's a month before, Alan.
Okay, so let's try the other one just quickly. So always check both.
What was it? Strange
Uh,
Tales.
I forget the number. Get to flip
They're
around a bit.
doing all the work here. Tales of Suspense number 30.
31. Okay.
Not Strange Tales. Tales of Suspense.
So I'm building excitement for the audience here. 31,
Well,
and then
Go
press
Collect
search.
deserve shooting for getting the wrong dates in things.
Yeah, and then press search.
July 1962.
And what was the other one?
June 1962. So it's still not a prototype.
Still afterwards. So I'm wrong on this. I'm willing to accept that.
Let's just double check.
That's really odd,
We've got
though.
July and June, I think. They'll come out at virtually the same time.
Yeah,
It could be. I mean, the way publishing this worked, he could have done the work
prototype.
on the Tales of Suspense earlier, and
There's
then
actually, yeah,
said, "Oh well, this is
this is so good.
almost
I'm
been
going to use
published a
them.
month later. It's so close."
Yeah, yeah.
You could have done it first and then used it again on Fantastic Four 5.
And does Go Collect make any reference to this being a prototype?
No, well, they wouldn't, would they? Since it's 4 months later, it can hardly be a prototype.
Well, so you know what's interesting? There's what character? I think it's Rogue. There was actually a Rogue story that actually was the first Rogue story, but it got published. It didn't get published until 10 years after the character had been released.
Yes, and I'm wondering if this
Is the same
was
idea.
was stock artwork from Kirby. That
Stock artwork, Stark story, like sort of a thing
yeah,
that was
yeah,
in the
yeah, in the files somewhere that they'd never used, and they pulled it out, and then they went, "Oh, this is really good. I like this guy in the Iron Mask. We should use him as a villain in Fantastic Four."
yeah. And then they just released it anyways as a Tales of
Right.
Suspense story.
Okay. So today's episode is far too interesting.
But yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know, I always found that this is the kind of fun thing within the hobby that you kind of, explore and figure out stuff. This
Well,
is how I go down rabbit holes and I buy like a whole bunch of random comics that don't make any sense to anybody but me. Yeah.
right. Next on the list, what can we find out about this one? This
Well,
is
this one's pretty straightforward.
okay.
This one-
I'm not going to have to jump around on this one. Okay. This
No jumping required.
Green Lantern
And it's the
number
first appearance of Hal Jordan.
59, first appearance of Guy
Oh,
Gardner.
Guy Gardner. Sorry, I meant Guy Gardner, the guy with the red hair. The yeah.
Guy Gardner. Abin Sur appearance, Origin of Green Lantern retold. Gil Kane artwork, of course.
And
Right.
right now, Guy Gardner is kind of cool. Like he was in the trailer for the next Superman movie.
Who was?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the actor for him is considered to be a good actor. So this book
Well,
has been a
he's
little bit,
he's never cool, is he? He's always a dork.
well, that's only the more recent version, which is what he's playing. He's got the dorky hair, the um but yeah, so it should be interesting. This is a spec book on the list, and I'm curious if it has been affected by the spec.
Well, hang on, I disagree. I think he's always been a dork, hasn't he? It's not just recently.
No,
I
I
mean,
mean
here
he
on this cover,
look at his
look on this
yes.
cover, he's being a dork. He's telling Hal Jordan, "Get off this earth. There's only room for one Green Lantern, me."
Yeah, but at least he doesn't have the dorky hair,
Oh
is
no,
my
he doesn't
point.
have the dorky hair, but his personality is dorky.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that one.
No,
But they always try to, like, whenever they introduce a new character like this, they always try to make it like, where they fight the other version of themselves.
right. So, how much did this sell for, Alan? This sold for 720 for an 8.5. Okay.
Seems a little low, actually.
I don't know about this one. It's flat.
Yeah, maybe it's maybe up from where it was like a few months ago, but
Much.
not much.
Well,
Is what?
$100. Yeah.
Yeah, about 100. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not anywhere close to the earlier spikes.
And well, it's $1,000 off its peak.
Yeah.
But it's significantly up on its pre-COVID.
What was this pre-COVID
Its
number?
pre-COVID was 379 and it's holding quite
Oh,
steady.
wow. It's
So
actually almost double
yeah,
its
so this one
pre-COVID.
is you know,
A reasonable.
significantly up on its pre-COVID.
Yeah. Um, and what's the census count? I don't think it's a high census count.
It isn't. 1856.
Yeah. I mean, that's high for DC maybe, but yeah. So I mean, I thought that was a, interesting one. I was curious about how well it would perform, especially because this is now after the trailer has dropped.
Yeah.
And usually you see like a bit of a jump or spike, like we
We
saw
haven't
that with
seen a
Doctor
particular,
Strange.
it hasn't jumped. It was the same price as the previous sale.
Yeah. So not super great, but oh
Right.
well.
Okay.
Is
Next one.
that you got one
Oh,
more?
great cover.
I
Uh,
always love this one. So again, this is a lot of you'll see on this list a lot of Doctor Doom spec related. I always thought this was one of the best
we
Doctor
talked
Doom
about
covers.
this last week or the week before, didn't we?
Yeah.
This is another of these artists. It's quite a prolific artist, but I think this is his best cover. It's Larry Lieber.
Oh, Larry Lieber did the
Fairly
cover?
sure this is Larry Lieber art because I sort of said I
I
think
think we were talking about that last time, yeah.
yeah, like Larry Lieber. Yeah, Larry Lieber.
And it's Roy Thomas that did the story?
Yeah,
Okay. So this is signed by Roy Thomas. I'm not sure how common it is to get a Roy Thomas signature.
I've got a couple of Roy Thomas signatures. It's not bad because he's relatively easy to get because he was around a
Okay.
long time and he did attend quite a lot of conventions.
Okay, so it's not like more
It's not like Jack Kirby or
but it's not like Stan Lee where every
oh no, he's
comic,
not like
even if it
Stan Lee where he signed, if you put a
signed
stamp,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I've got a couple of Roy Thomas things.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so I was curious about a couple things with this book. This, being a Doctor Doom spec because it is one of the greater Doctor Doom covers. But also, I was curious, is it going to have the Stan Lee effect where the value actually goes down because somebody signed it?
840. Unfortunately, it's the
Oh, it's a new
only
record. We love new
Alan
records.
has there's a thing called Google Whack, where if you type something into Google and there's only one thing, there's only one reference to it, that's called a Google whack. Alan
Mhm.
has done very well recently at doing a go collect whack, where it manages to pick something that's a one of one and therefore it's a record. So this
And
is the only CGC signature 8.5 of this that's ever
it's
sold.
a huge record.
Oh, it's a
It was
huge record. The previous one was unknown. So we
so
compare it. He's going to make me do
let's
one of
compare it to
these.
some
We're going to
other
have to
things.
compare it to other grades, and then we're going to have to compare it to a non-signed one. Right. So, well, the
It didn't do that
nearest
well because
here we go. I've got an 880 sold in
for 1100.
2024 for nearly 1200. So,
Wow. So this didn't do well.
well, that's the only other really sale you can compare it to. The others are too long ago.
And then
Uh,
how does it compare to
Universal.
the
Now,
blue
what would
label?
you think, Alan? I think this will be worth. I think he's added about 20% to the price, is my guess.
My guess is that it's actually going to be parallel, same.
It's not
What is it?
500 compared to
No,
800.
no, it's
I'm
eight
right.
five, isn't
I'm
it?
for the first time on this show, I'm right and Alan is wrong.
No, isn't it? Wasn't it an 8.5?
Was it an 8.5? Oh, it was an 8.5. Oh goodness, he's not going. Please tell me Alan's not going to be right. It
Says
was an
8.5.
8.5. You're correct.
Hmm.
No, I'm still right.
Oh, FMV is
Oh no,
700.
it's not. No, it's the FMVs too. Oh yeah, the FMVs all over the place. No,
What was the last sale?
the last sale was 999. So you're right. So Alan is right
Yeah.
again. This is very annoying. Alan's been right.
I'm right about things. Um, Interesting. Okay, so like the sign book didn't perform as well, which
Okay.
is interesting to me.
Yeah.
You'd think but that
Well, the
last sale
sales were
is kind of
quite
a jump
close
up.
because this was on the 19th of January.
And what was the sale before it? Because it looked like it did a little bit of a jump there. I mean, the sale before
So
it,
it's 2 days later where this one sold for
for less.
$200 less being signed.
Wow.
So I
So
think somebody's picked a bargain up on this one.
yeah, I think this is just a steal. I'm not sure why it was so much lower, but yeah. It was probably that the other one was a buy it now and they just overpaid.
Maybe.
And then, that happens too, right?
Yeah.
Because it looked like a bit of a spike on the previous one.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So yeah, I don't know. Hope people learned something from this list. You're going to learn a lot from Mark's list. Oh my goodness, I put some fun ones on Mark's list because he loves doing this kind of work and research. And it's just something that gives him a bit of joy and pleasure, especially the book that I put at the end. Oh, just
Well, what I am pleased about, Alan, is that you're obviously on the ball. Whether it's just because you've woken up from a dream about being an AI, Alan,
mhm.
you're clearly on the ball at the moment. So I think all that concussion nonsense has gone.
I don't know about that, but I wish. Okay, so I hope you guys had fun on this list. Go check out this part two on Mark's channel. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.